What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, there's not too much going on today, which isn't a bad thing. But I wanted to kind of release this out to you guys because I know over the past few weeks we have been getting Retcon up and at 'em. Because yeah, just with the recent war payouts, more and more people, at least I've seen it in my war shards, more and more people are getting Jeff the Land Shark unlocked. And of course, if you guys have played against this team in war, you'll know that these guys are pretty troublesome to deal with here. We do have a few counters we're going to try out today to show you guys. But yeah, he is absolutely, I do feel like, his overall character kit is pretty awesome. I feel like they didn't do him justice by, making him such a gated unlock with the way that it's like through the war payout. And of course, war payout was also paying out the purple ions as well. And yeah, unless you're a top alliance, you aren't really getting that many shards, and we're kind of more in the middle of the pack. But we did eventually get him unlocked here, I guess 3 months later, whatever you want to call it, almost 4 months. But yeah, it's his time warp, right? When he uses his time warp, it gives a huge amount of speed. And I don't think this is an awakened passive or anything like that. It's just a level 5. But yeah, if you guys do get your Retcon team unlocked, do keep in mind there is still the redacted dimension as well, so you can start earning his red stars. I can kind of maybe start on it if I want to. I'm going to see what's around the corner here. We still have quite a bit of time on the redacted dimension, so I'm going to see what happens here with Annihilus first before I start thinking if I want to bring these guys up. My current stats is because I'm not really a war-focused player myself, it wouldn't really be worth my while to get these guys pumped up here. But yeah, there's some really good synergies with all these characters, and of course they've also got the 3.0 bump on the stats as well. I think she does the passive where enemies can't fill or reduce the speed bars. So she protects basically the her speed manipulation for the group. And then I think She-Hulk, she is the one that's kind of holding the fort, transferring negatives to the enemy with the highest damage. So this is also quite annoying. Like I said, I've played against these teams, and yeah, your regular counters like Brimstone, they won't work. They won't work on these guys because I'll show you an example here. They're just pretty brutal to deal with. But we do have a couple counters, and I can't take all the credit because some of my alliance mates actually made these counters known to me. But yeah, this is overall, I feel like some very iconic characters. I mean, obviously Deadpool is Deadpool, and it's kind of nice that these ones kind of got reworked a bit. And same with Squirrel Girl. I actually really like Squirrel Girl. She was really good back in the old days when we were using the Young Avengers for the trials and stuff. But yeah, she is a really good character as well here. And I mean, she does have synergy with Avengers as well. So this is kind of nice. And of course, if you're doing some of those older version trials, I forget which one it was. It might have been Shadow King, where you have to use like the Young Avengers or something. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, she's good for the team as well. But obviously, the bread and butter to this entire team is Jeff the Land Shark. And trying to debate right now if I should be building him up or keep hoarding my reserves here for the trials ahead. But anyways, let's jump into some gameplay so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. We'll jump in here against a pretty baby team here. We're pretty much twice the TCP, and again, it doesn't matter if you use full Brimstone. I'm gonna keep barrier on these guys to see if that helps. But you'll see that, yeah, this is a fearsome team, even though they've only just got a baby version of Jeff the Land Shark. And again, we don't get that speed manipulation that we would get with our Brimstone that we normally get, because they usually get the first turn. And again, here they start doing their thing here, and we've got trauma, we've got silence, we've got disruption, we've got defense down, slows. It's an absolute butt kicking by us. It's crazy because I think a lot of people were on the fence about leveling these guys, but they are like an echelon top war team. And if they do revamp war the way that they wanted to, this is definitely going to be one of the forefronted teams, I think, and that's kind of why I feel like a lot of people are deciding right now to go get Retcon unlocked and to do the redacted dimension, right? Especially for the alliances that are war focused, right? So yeah, not much to see here other than my ass getting whooped here. So that just wanted to show you guys just how good this team is against a current meta team. Now, this is a team that actually one of my alliance mates, Sentry, he had showed me way back, and this is one where we had actually tested as well. And yeah, this is a good one because we have Cosmic Ghost Rider, which basically nullifies 50% of the damage before the turn is taken by him. So again here, as you can kind of see here, they do a pretty good amount of damage, and it's going to kill off our Ghost Rider. But Astral is kind of one of the teams that a lot of people have access to because they were a previous Battle World team. They were fairly good in War as well. And of course as well, some of these members like Shadow King, Emma Frost, Doctor Strange even, I guess I'm not using Doctor Strange here, but they were part of that previous Professor Xavier saga. And as you guys can kind of see here, really, they still take a pretty good beating, even though these guys are a bit weaker. The Gwenpool is quite weak, so of course, that, you know, there's also that to note. But of course, we are able to survive the initial onslaught because our Brimstone didn't even take one turn. So we are able to kind of get a 50% reduction in damage thanks to Cosmic Ghost Rider. And because of that, when we get to our turn, then we can kind of do our work. We can kind of throw Emma Frost's, you know, her AOE special so that she hits the adjacent targets. And then, of course, once we get to, Ancient One, sorry, her turn, she'll flip everything, give us the buffs back. And, of course, as well, she's going to be able to do the killing blow on Jeff the Land Shark. Because yeah, right now we do have an advantage here. A lot of people don't have the stars on Jeff the Land Shark, both red and yellow, and that's kind of the way right now how we can counter it. And as you guys can kind of see here, even though we don't use any crazy characters like Odin, Xavier, even, you know, Daemon, we are able to get it done here. And again, just keep in mind, this is a baby team here, and I want to kind of get some footage out for you guys, especially because, yeah, with War coming around the corner here, it is a very solid counter, despite not really investing too much. You don't really need a big Cosmic Ghost Rider. You just need him there for his passive, and I'll show you guys why. It's going to be a 50 reduction in his, basically to the enemies that attack him before his first turn. And of course, that helps kind of make our team survive until the onslaught is over from the Retcon enemies. So all you really need is that L64 unlocked. So anyways, we're going to jump in here with a different team now. We're going to throw in Brimstone. We're going to change one member up here. This is actually a shout out to, oh boy, I can't pronounce your name, buddy. Oh man, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, man. Okay, so yeah, no, he brought my attention on QUASAR's passive, and I just completely forgot about how he can cancel speed percentage, right? So of course this helps out if we're using our ults. Jeff the Land Shark's not going to be able to use his time warp to help the allies here. And actually QUASAR, I don't know if it was just a lucky one or the fact that these guys were just weaker, but it was kind of the same sort of team that kicked our Brimstone's butt kind of in the earlier footage. And then we did actually come back in here, and we were able to actually get this done here without too much trouble. Of course, like I said, it all kind of depends on a little bit of luck as well, because he wasn't focusing on Daemon. QUASAR is able to go first because he is kind of faster than the other guys, and he's able to kind of plow them down with his ult here, as you guys can kind of see here. What the heck? Whose message is that? That's weird. Okay, so then we're able to kind of get it done here, and you guys can kind of see that, yeah, once the Brimstone actually takes a turn, they can get the deed done. So that is another counter here that isn't including any mythics, but it does include our boy Daemon, and of course QUASAR, which, yeah, he's such a great character. I still think he's probably he is probably out of the 3 legendaries with the Nihilus, he is the best one out of the set of 3. And again, I'm pretty stoked to see what he's going to look like when he does get his costume in game. So that's pretty cool there. So that's another one for you guys there. Okay, now let's go in here with the with our Professor Xavier. Again, I think you can group Xavier with a lot of different teams, and he'll work just because Professor Xavier is Professor Xavier. But nonetheless, if you guys can see here, oh crap, maybe I'll show you guys the team afterwards. But yeah, we don't have a very big Jeff the Land Shark, and again, he's able to do quite a significant amount of damage to the group here. I don't know if Gore even survives. The reason why I have Phoenix here is just so if it gets to her turn, hopefully maybe she can steal off some negatives, but now I'm seeing that there's silence, so that actually wouldn't work. So maybe that was not a good play by me. Thanos does get unleashed with his passive here, but unfortunately it really doesn't do anything. And then yeah, once we get to Professor Xavier's turn, he's kind of the one that basically seals their fate, because yeah, Professor Xavier is Professor Xavier, and he's like, hey, watch me show you guys how it's done here, because you guys stink. But yeah, once he kills off like Jeff the Land Shark, then we can pretty much just hit auto here, and the rest is kind of done here. So I don't know if we need to watch the whole thing here, but I'll show you guys again here. It was not a very, very big team that we were up against. And yeah, for us to use our Professor Xavier on these Retcon teams is a great way, I think, for people to kind of bait, you know, the other mythic characters, right? Like QUASAR is another solid one that we had just done footage with. And again, with taking Professor Xavier out of the picture, then of course it allows for other team strategies to work. I guess he was tier 20. I guess he was the only one that was tier 20. So actually, Jacio or Jakio, he was smart because he didn't take the other guys up just yet, but he did prioritize on Jeff the Landshark. And of course, as you guys can see here, the other members were a bit lacking, but still, like I said, a very, very decent dent. Gore didn't even make it to his first turn, right? And of course, as well, if Professor Xavier didn't flip the negatives, I imagine the same fate would have been the same case for the other characters as well. So my last and final counter for you guys, and this is probably the one that may be the most accessible to people just because people have Asgardians built up. But this is one, again, it was from an alliance mate, and I don't remember which one told me this one. But yeah, they said that they used a pretty weak Asgardian team, and yeah, they were able to get it done here because of the fact that you don't really need big Asgardians. You kind of just need the passive from Valkyrie. That's going to flip the negatives and get the safeguard. And it does look a little sketchy here, but Odin is really tough to deal with. It doesn't matter what team he's usually up against, but yeah, it does, like you can kind of see here, it is kind of sketchy. And this is a very low-powered Jeff the Landshark as well here. So obviously, if there was enough bleeds, he might have been able to bleed out. So he does the heal here, so he doesn't do the special, so they don't get the increase in the speed. However, once Odin gets his Battle World effect in place, he's going to be able to, start chaining his assists. And you guys can kind of see here, he doesn't actually get any charges because of, I'm just trying to remember who it was. I think it was She-Hulk. It was one of them. One of them prevented the charges from happening. But once he does his assist, then, once he does one assist, he activates his auto. And then, yeah, it's pretty much game over from that point on. It's hard. It's hard because these guys are so much faster than Odin. And because they are kind of weaker, every time they hit, cough, they're holding back. Odin just does his thing and retaliates. So, yeah, there you guys have it. So, I don't know if this was helpful, but hopefully gives you guys some options to use against these nasty Retcon teams. Honestly, they are, I think, in my opinion, one of the better war teams. And again, there's still some time on the redacted dimension. I think there's about a week or something like that, so you guys can have a look there. But yeah, overall, like I said already, I'll show you guys what the power level was. It was fairly low. Was it in this room? Don't remember what room it was. It might be the other room. Yep, I think I was in the wrong room here. Sorry, guys. So, again, yeah, like I said already, it's just, yeah, it's a very low 4 mil team. And you can kind of see, like I said, even that team was giving our tier 20 Odin a run for his money. And, of course, we did have, like I said, the Asgardians there, and they were kind of weaker. But, yeah, it doesn't change the fact that this is a very solid war team. And for sure, like I said already, if you guys are kind of debating or not whether to upgrade these guys or the Winter Guards, or you're waiting around the corner here, or you're just waiting to get Jeff unlocked, right? So maybe you can start the Redacted Dimension and get some red stars on him. This is a very solid war team. I'm not a war player, but I will say that yeah, it's a solid team. And I feel like if you guys have the resources, if you guys are a fan of his character, his lore, he is going to be a very solid addition to your war lineup. So overall, I hope this has helped you guys out. Hopefully this is giving you guys a little bit of insight on the teams that I've used. And again, as well, hopefully you guys were able to get some benefit out of this video. Otherwise, I do imagine it's going to be a pretty quiet Tuesday. Doesn't seem like there's going to be too much going on, but hopefully this helps you guys out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.